believe, that, in the not too distant future, but, some years away, blockchain will establish itself as the stack of choice. Third generation blockchain will play the role of a cloud, and people will build things end to end on blockchain, and they'll run AI on blockchain. So why would somebody want to do that? So in the future, we're going to see two kinds of AI predominating. One will be these sort of super centralized, massive large language models like GPT and Claude and Grok and so on. And they'll have their merits and huge numbers of parameters and be very good at all kinds of different things. But also there's going to be a long tail of millions of AI models that are run for specific purposes. An AI model that's run by an organization to optimize its management. An AI model that's run by a law firm to analyze its database of legal documents. An AI model that's run by a medical research agency to analyze a database of papers that they think are important. An AI that will rank content in a Web3 social media app. Because of course, when you're talking to Instagram, or when you're using TikTok or Instagram Reels, you're not really talking to a website, you're talking to an AI. The AI is observing how long you look at each video and determining what it should feed you next. So there's going to be this big long tail. Now, something that many people haven't thought about is that AI has some special needs. I'll give you three. Number one, generally speaking, we're going to give AI all of our most valuable data, our most sensitive data, all of it. So it'll be this incredible honeypot for hackers. And if you run AI as a smart contract on the internet computer, it can't be hacked. It's tamper-proof. And so that solves a very important need. Secondly, we're going to come to depend on AI. So if you think of an organization that's being managed with the help of AI, it's a bit like SatNav, right? If you go back 25 years, if you wanted to get across London, you'd use an London A to Z as a map. And you'd look at the route on the map and turn several pages, and you'd try and memorize the route, and you put the map in the pocket of your car door. And if you tried to do the same thing today, you'd find yourself stopping by the side of the road to go back to the map all the time. Why? Because that part of our brain that did that is kind of gone because we've had SatNav. AI is that on steroids. We're going to really come to depend on it. And that means it needs to be unstoppable. It can't crash, it can't go offline because we're going to depend on it. And lastly, AI, if you look at how you apply something like a large language model within the context of an enterprise, something like Mistral or Llama 3 is already trained, the weights are already trained, but it's going to accumulate context, which it puts in something like a vector database, a context database. And if you have weak identity within your organization, and you have a malicious employee who's feeding bad context into the AI, and you discover it a few months later, you're not going to be able to get the bad context out. You're going to have to roll your AI back several months. So for all of these reasons, in some cases, we're going to choose to trade efficiency, ultimate efficiency, for the security and resilience and other guarantees that only smart contracts can provide. But I really do think that within the blockchain community has got to think very carefully about this, because there are a lot of AI tokens which are really trying to capitalize on the speculative side of things. But here's the thing, and I guess it's a bit of a controversial statement, but if you think about deep-in networks where people are people are home, they're going to rent their gaming PC's GPU out for AI, I think some of that stuff is going to be very carefully analyzed, because I don't know if you heard recently, but Musk just redirected a $500 million shipment of NVIDIA cards from Tesla to X. And so you realize that behind the scenes, he's buying NVIDIA cards from NVIDIA in $500 million clips. And if you do that, you get huge discounts, right? So that's the advantage of centralization.
You to the end user. So the total economy is $100 trillion total, yeah. The AI is about $20 trillion of impact in the next 5 years. If you look at Gen AI, is like 15 trillion of that. Blockchain is going to secure a big chunk of that part.
I want to maybe just ask the $10 trillion question quickly. You gave a great explanation of the tech stack. Where do you guys think the value accrues in that tech stack?
To the users.
Not only the individuals maybe can have their own AI assistant, but organizations can run AI in the same way and own them. But remember that there's only one way that you can own software and data, and that's if it's on the blockchain.